Before the sun rose, Aurelwyn stirred with anticipation. Today was no ordinary day. Today marked the passage from childhood to something greater. Every street echoed with the promise of transformation, as families prepared for the ancient rite. The Trial of Flames was more than a ceremony. It was a test woven into the very heart of the kingdom. For generations it had shaped the fate of every child who called Aurelwyn home. In Aurelwyn, every child faced the Trial of Flames at 12, a ritual that shaped their destiny. The kingdom gathered in the Grand Plaza, a bonfire blazing before the king's castle. Parents watched, torn between pride and fear, as children in white robes lined up. The fire was said to burn away weakness, leaving a mark of honor for the worthy. Kaelen, turning 12, stood apart, calm, drawn to the flames rather than afraid. While others trembled, she felt a gentle hum from the fire, not a threat. She questioned the tradition in her heart, sensing a deeper connection to the world. As her turn neared, the crowd's anticipation grew. The king watched from above, a reminder of his power over all. The air was thick with smoke and tension. For the children, this was the moment of acceptance or rejection. Kaelen's hands clenched, but her eyes stayed fixed on the fire. She took a deep breath, feeling the heat on her face. The time had come to step forward. Kaelen walked toward her destiny, unafraid. In that moment, the world seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what she would become. Kaelen reached the bonfire, her hand steady as she held it over the flames. The crowd hushed, waiting for the ritual's sting and the mark of courage. But the fire did not burn her. It wrapped around her arm, gentle and harmless. Her skin remained untouched, the flames like a warm embrace. Shock rippled through the crowd, whispers turned to shouts of witchcraft. The king's face darkened and fear swept the plaza. Guards closed in, spears raised. Kaelen's parents cried out, but the verdict was swift: exile. She was cast out alone into the wild Dragon's Tooth Mountains. The gates slammed shut behind her, sealing her fate. Yet as she faced the jagged peaks, she felt not despair, but a quiet strength. The world she knew was gone. She was a child marked not by fire, but by difference. Alone, she stepped into the unknown. Her journey had just begun. The kingdom's fear had created its greatest mystery. Kaelen walked on, unburnt and unbroken. Life in the Dragon's Tooth Mountains was harsh, but Kaelen adapted quickly. She learned to survive, finding shelter and food, growing strong and attuned to the wild. Years passed. She became a young woman, deeply connected to the land. One day, she found a wounded soldier by a stream, one of the king's men. Despite her past, she helped him, offering water and kindness. Grateful, the dying soldier pressed a rune-marked stone into her hand. "The 13th Gate," he whispered. "The king fears it. Find it. It's the key." With his last breath, he revealed a hidden temple in a forgotten valley, where the truth of Aurelwyn's magic was kept. The king sought to control or destroy this secret. The soldier urged her to seek the temple and uncover the truth. Kaelen buried him by the stream, marking his grave with stones. The rune pulsed with warmth in her palm. She now had a quest, a purpose beyond survival. The 13th Gate called to her. She set out, guided by the dying man's secret. The mountains behind her, she journeyed toward destiny. The kingdom's greatest lie was about to be revealed. Kaelen's exile had become her path to power. The world was about to change. She walked on, the rune stone lighting her way. Guided by the rune, Kaelen journeyed through wild valleys and dense forests. After weeks, she discovered a hidden valley behind a waterfall, home to ancient temple ruins. The air thrummed with magic. The stones were covered in carvings. As she traced the symbols, she understood them, not with her mind, but her heart. The carvings told of a time before the Trial of Flames, when magic flowed freely through 13 gates. 12 gates gave elemental power. The 13th was the gate of balance, connecting all others. The first kings, fearing its power, sealed it away and erased it from history. The Trial of Flames was created to control those attuned to the 12, hiding the truth. Kaelen realized the kingdom's magic was built on a lie. The 13th Gate was not just a legend, it was the missing harmony. The lost language revealed her true purpose. The runestone pulsed, urging her onward. She was meant to restore what had been broken. The secret of Aurelwyn's magic was now hers to bear. The journey was no longer just for answers, it was for the future. Kaelen prepared to face the truth. In the temple, Kaelen learned the prophecy. When balance was lost, the 13th Gate would awaken, not as a place, but as a person. This being would be immune to the 12 Gates' magic, embodying pure harmony. Kaelen looked at her unburnt hands and understood she was the 13th Gate. Her difference, her connection to the world, her immunity to fire, all made sense. She was not an outcast, but the key to restoring balance. The runestone was her awakening, not a map. The king's fear was clear. He ruled by controlling the 12, but could never control her. Her exile had protected her from his grasp. Now her purpose was greater than herself. It was for the kingdom's future. Magic had become a tool of fear. She would return to change that. The Trial of Flames was a distortion of true magic. Kaelen could not hide any longer. She would return to Aurelwyn, face the king, and reveal the truth. The time had come to open the 13th Gate. The fate of the world rested with her. Kaelen returned to Aurelwyn, a fugitive hunted by the king's enforcers. Using her mountain skills, she moved unseen, feeling the discord of the king's magic. She found a rebel camp, people tired of the king's rule, led by Vea. At first skeptical, Vea believed her after she revealed the rune and spoke the lost language. The rebels saw hope in her, not a threat. They shared knowledge of secret tunnels beneath the castle, the site of the original sealing ritual. The rebels pledged to help her reach the catacombs, ready to fight for change. The king's soldiers attacked, and a fierce battle erupted. While the rebels fought, Kaelen slipped away toward the capital. The sounds of battle reminded her of the stakes. She was no longer just Kaelen. She was the hope of the people. The 13th Gate was moving toward its destiny. The final confrontation awaited. Kaelen entered the catacombs beneath the city, guided by her glowing rune. She reached a chamber where the 12 Gates symbols trapped chaotic energy. The king and his guards confronted her, determined to keep control. As the king unleashed fire, Kaelen stood firm. The flames parted around her. She placed the rune on the altar. Energy surged, connecting the 12 Gates to her. The chaos flowed into her, balanced by the 13th Gate's harmony. Magic swept across the land, not as destruction, but as healing. The king's power crumbled. The old order ended. Kaelen chose to teach, not rule. The Trial of Flames was abolished. A new tradition began. On their 12th birthday, children were asked, "Will you awaken?" The world was changed, vibrant, connected, alive. Kaelen's journey had restored balance. The 13th Gate was open. Aurelwyn's future was filled with hope.